Imagine you go to sleep in your peaceful village. You've had dinner with your family, the animals are fed, the air is still, and by morning, everyone is gone. No war, no flood, no disease, just emptiness. This isn't a ghost story. It's real history. And it happened in 1986 in a quiet corner of Cameroon. A disaster so silent, so sudden, that entire families vanished in their sleep. No fire, no survivors to scream for help. This is the true story of Lake Nyos, the lake that killed a town. And the killer was something we breathe every day, carbon dioxide. Upbound, peaceful visuals, rolling hills, a calm crater lake, children playing. Let's go back. Before the disaster, Lake Nyos is a stunning crater lake in northwestern Cameroon. It sits within the lush, volcanic CO₂ Mountains. The lake is deep, over 200 meters, and almost perfectly round. The surrounding villages like Nyos and Cha were small. Maybe a few hundred people in each, mostly farmers. They raised cattle, goats, and crops. Children played. Families fished in the lake. Life was quiet. Locals believed the lake was sacred. Some said spirits lived beneath the water. They were more right than they knew. Because beneath that beauty, something dangerous was building, and no one knew. Animated diagram of magma chamber, gas seepage, and lake layers. Lake Nyos is a volcanic crater lake, formed from a collapsed volcano. Beneath it lies a pocket of magma, still active. Magma releases carbon dioxide, CO₂, a gas that slowly seeps into the lake through fissures in the rock. Now here's the key. CO₂ is soluble in water under pressure. At the lake's depths, over 600 feet down, this gas dissolves silently, building up over decades. Think of it like a shaken soda bottle. It looks calm until the pressure changes. Scientists call this a limnic eruption, a rare but deadly release of gas from the bottom of a lake. At Lake Nyos, that pressure was rising every year, unseen, and in 1986, the bottle burst. Dramatic reenactment visuals, crickets, sudden silence, dark clouds. It was the night of August 21st, 1986. The villagers of Nyos went to bed under a quiet sky. There were no signs, no earthquakes, no warnings. Then, at some point between 9 p.m. and midnight, it happened. The lake erupted, not with lava, not with smoke, but with a surge of invisible gas. An enormous cloud of carbon dioxide exploded out of the lake, rising quickly, then collapsing. Because CO₂ is heavier than air, the gas flowed like a tidal wave down the valleys, hugging the ground. It moved fast, up to 50 kilometers per hour. And as it spread, it smothered everything in its path. People, cattle, birds, insects. They never had a chance. Real survivor testimony footage, somber tone, visuals of the aftermath. One survivor, Joseph Nquain, recalled waking up in the hospital. His voice barely a whisper, he said, "I was trying to speak, but I could not. Everyone was dead. My family, my neighbors, gone." Another woman said she woke to find her entire family lying still. She walked outside and found the same scene in every home. There were no flies, well, no birds. Even the bugs had died. Rescue teams arrived days later to a nightmare. Villages frozen in death, entire families still in bed. Livestock collapsed mid-step. The air had killed. Scientists arriving, taking samples, diagrams showing discovery process. At first, no one understood what had happened. Some believed it was a chemical weapon. Others blamed spirits or mass poisoning. It took a team of international scientists to uncover the truth. They discovered that CO₂ had been accumulating in the lake for decades. And that night, a trigger, perhaps a landslide or cold rainfall, caused the lake to turn over. Like opening a soda bottle, the pressure dropped and gas burst free. Well, they named it a limnic eruption. It had happened before, at Lake Manoon, just 2 years earlier, but on a smaller scale. Lake Nyos was a time bomb, and no one had seen the visuals of Lake Kivu, other crater lakes, interviews with geologists. Here's the chilling part. There are other lakes like Nyos, Mzuri. One of them is Lake Kivu on the border of Rwanda and the DRC. It's 2,000 times larger than Lake Nyos, and it sits near 2 million people. If Lake Kivu erupted, the death toll could be unimaginable. Efforts have begun to degas these lakes. At Lake Nyos, pipes now release CO₂ from the depths safely, slowly. But not every lake has the funding or the attention. And most people living near them still have no idea. Footage of memorials, grave markers, local villages today. The Lake Nyos disaster is barely taught in schools. It's missing from textbooks. There were no trending hashtags, no candlelight vigils on the world stage. The people of Nyos were rural, poor, and forgotten, but their story matters. Because it shows us how fragile life is, how something invisible, like air, can become our worst nightmare, and how much we still don't understand about our planet's soft piano music. The lake appears calm again. Final message. Today, Lake Nyos is calm again. Its waters shimmer. The gas is under control, for now, but the lesson lingers. Not all disasters are loud. Some creep beneath the surface, quietly, for decades, waiting. If you found this story as haunting and powerful as we did, subscribe to Hidden Histories Hub. We uncover the stories the world forgets. Comment below. What other hidden disasters should we reveal next? And remember, sometimes the past isn't buried. It's just waiting to be heard.